So let's say you have submitted your QuickBooks assignment. Your excellent instructor has graded it, but you want to see what your grade is, and you are wondering if you made any errors, and if so, what are the errors? So there's two ways to do this. One way is you just go directly to the assignment. So let's say it is this vendor's homework case 0 assignment. So we would find that, click on it, and now that we're within that module, we scroll to the end of the module where we actually uploaded the assignment. So this is where we uploaded the assignment. We could click here, and we could see that the grade is 75.6. And if you notice in the small font, it says errors are attached. And there is an Excel spreadsheet called billybobthornton.xlsx. So in this spreadsheet is a list of the errors that this fantastic instructor has let him know about. So maybe an even easier way to find the grade is just to go to the grades section, find the grade in question, which is right here, vendor case 0. And here you can see his score is 75.6 out of 100. Oops, and he's late too, naughty boy. So let's click on this, and it takes us basically to that same type of information as before. You see here is my message to Billy Bob Thornton saying errors are attached. So if we click here, we can download this spreadsheet and open it up and see. So here is his spreadsheet. And at first this might be a little bit confusing. Notice it says over here, step of assignment, transaction date, more information, points possible, error, etc. So what I want to do is I want to pull up the assignment in Word. So this is the original assignment. And notice in the assignment they have steps. So here's step 1. You navigate to the original copies folder, etc. Step 2. So step 3, it says change the company name. So notice here we have step of assignment, step 3, change company name. And then down here in step 4, we're adding some vendors. So here's step 4, add vendors, etc. So that's how that corresponds with the assignment. So what you're going to want to do if you make any errors and you get a spreadsheet like this is open this up and look for the stuff highlighted in yellow. So these are the errors that Billy Bob has made. So in this step 4, he's supposed to add vendor Williams office supply, and there's 5 points possible, and he got 1 point deducted. Why? Because he misspelled the vendor name, and I've had students do this before. So it's important to spell the vendor name correctly, especially if you're going to be sending information to the vendor. It looks very unprofessional when they receive it and find out that their vendor information or their vendor name is misspelled. Let's see what else he did wrong. So on step 7, he's supposed to enter a bill for Nordic Realty. The transaction date is February 3rd, 2019. Well, the problem is the transaction date he entered was 2/3/2021, 2 years off. So that's a major error. There's 5 points possible, and the deduction is 5 points. The reason this is a major deduction is because he entered the wrong year, this transaction is likely not to show up in the proper reports because he's off by a full year. Now, if he's off by only a day, then that's a minor error and there's fewer points deducted. Let's see if he has any other errors. So on this journal report, the dates are supposed to be 2/1/2019 to 2/28/2019, and he's supposed to change the sort by to date. And he forgot to click the sort by setting and change it to date. That's a minor error. So 5 points are possible. He got 1 point deducted, so he got awarded 4 points for that. And on his audit trail, which is worth 5 points, he got all 5 points deducted because his report was blank. And why was his report blank? Because the dates were incorrect. Remember, on the audit trail, the dates are supposed to be for the current year. So even though these transactions are recorded in 2019, when we pull up the audit report, the audit trail report, as you saw in a former video or previous video, I should say, that the audit trail, the year should be the current year. So for example, the current year right now is 2021. So when you run the audit trail report, you should be using the year for 2021. In other words, for the audit trail report, it should be January 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2021. So in other words, for the audit trail report, use the current year. But you should know that as you read the instructions, and it plainly explains that. And the last deduction, which is a major deduction, Billy Bob was late in submitting this. So how is this calculated? The due date is 4/12/2021 at 1500. That's military time. To convert military time to convert regular time to military time, you just add 12 to any PM number. So this 1500 is actually 3 p.m. He submitted it at 3:22 p.m. That's late. And remember, submissions for this class that are late have a 15% deduction per day, so per 24 hours. So if he was more than 24 hours late, it would be 30% deduction or more. So here is his deduction, 15%, which turns out to be 19.2 points out of the full 128 points. So that is how you find your list of errors. And what I recommend you do, and this is not required, I recommend going back to your file, opening it up, and try to fix the errors. It's really good practice to learn to fix your errors. That's how you really learn QuickBooks inside and out. If you go through the assignment and do everything perfect, you're not going to learn quite as much as if you make errors and go back and fix them, which is why I purposely give you in the assignments things to go back and change, which is basically fixing it. So that's it. That's how you find a list of errors for your QuickBooks assignments.